Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you've ever thought that a humble penny couldn't be worth a fortune, prepare to have your mind blown because the 1992 1-cent coin from the United States has shattered all expectations and rewritten numismatic history with a jaw-dropping value of $284 million. And today, we're diving deep into every twist, error, and minting mystery that makes this seemingly ordinary coin an extraordinary treasure in the world of collectors, historians, and treasure hunters alike. A coin that's not only incredibly rare but also wrapped in a fascinating blend of production mishaps, die variations, mint mark oddities, and historical significance that has elevated its value to heights once thought unimaginable for a copper-plated zinc coin. Because when it comes to valuable currency errors, this 1992 penny is the crown jewel of accidental fortune. Known for its rarity due to an elusive and highly sought-after anomaly called the close AM reverse design, an error where the A and M in America are nearly touching instead of being spaced apart, a design that was supposed to be introduced in 1993 but found its way onto a few 1992 cents due to a premature use of the new die at the Denver Mint, and that one seemingly small variation, unnoticeable to the average eye, has made all the difference between pocket change and a multimillion-dollar relic, sparking an international frenzy among coin collectors who understand just how unique this find truly is. And the story only gets more fascinating as you dig deeper into how it all unfolded, because back in 1992 the US Mint was preparing for design changes for the upcoming year, and in the process of this transition a few reverse dies with the 1993 close AM design were mistakenly paired with obverse dies dated 1992, resulting in the birth of one of the most valuable and rarest cents ever struck. And even though the Philadelphia Mint also produced a few 1992 close AM cents, it is the 1992 close AM that commands the highest premium due to its extreme scarcity, with only a handful known to exist, adding an explosive layer of value to its already compelling story. And while the general public might dismiss a penny as virtually worthless, seasoned collectors know that the 1992 close AM penny represents a perfect storm of minting error, transition period chaos, and unmatched rarity, with only a few ever surfacing in the wild, usually after years of oblivion in circulation or quietly resting in forgotten coin jars. And it's precisely this unpredictability and the possibility that more could be hiding in plain sight that fuels the obsession and makes every 1992 penny a potential jackpot for those willing to scrutinize every detail, magnifying glass in hand, hoping to strike gold in copper form. And if that wasn't enough, this particular coin is also shrouded in mystery, with collectors and numismatists alike speculating how many may still be out there undiscovered, possibly stuck inside dusty albums or rolling around in drawers waiting for the right pair of eyes to uncover their true worth. And part of the magic behind the 1992 close AM penny is how unintentional its rarity really is, the result not of a deliberate minting decision but of human error during a pivotal moment in US Mint history, an error so subtle that it managed to go undetected for years, slipping through quality control and into the hands of an unsuspecting public, further cementing its status as a holy grail of modern coinage. And with auctions fetching astronomical prices and private collectors fiercely competing for ownership, the 1992 close AM penny stands as a testament to how even the smallest variations can carry monumental value, transforming an everyday object into a historic artifact of economic and cultural intrigue. And let's not forget the additional layers that can increase its worth, such as condition, luster, strike quality, and whether it's been graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, because a coin of this caliber in mint state condition, especially in grades like MS65 or higher, is not just rare, it's legendary, and there's the potential for it to fetch even more than the already staggering $284 million figure as bidding wars and private deals drive its price through the roof. And beyond the close AM feature itself, specialists examine everything from doubling in the legends or date, die polishing lines, off-center strikes, repunched mint marks, and even planchet quality, all of which can add layers of value and distinction to each individual example, making every verified specimen a one-of-a-kind national treasure. And the excitement doesn't stop at known examples, because treasure hunters across the world continue to hunt rolls of pennies and sort through coin shows, flea markets, and estate sales, hoping to be the next lucky person to discover a piece of American minting history worth more than many luxury mansions or rare sports cars, and as stories emerge of collectors turning a single cent into a life-changing sum, interest continues to explode, sparking media coverage, collector buzz, and renewed interest in searching through old coin collections handed down through generations, because even if the chances are slim, the payoff is absolutely historic. And just think, how many people have unknowingly handled a 1992 close AM and spent it without ever realizing what they held in their hand, a scenario that keeps the thrill alive and reinforces why so many people are diving back into coin collecting with renewed passion and purpose, especially as values skyrocket and the mystique of these rare coins only grows with time. And while some coins gain notoriety due to being made of precious metals or having famous figures, this penny defies expectations by achieving iconic status through a minting accident that transformed it into a numismatic legend, and the sheer allure of finding one is enough to spark excitement among even the most casual observers, reminding us all that incredible value can hide in the most unexpected places. And this is why collectors, experts, and curious individuals alike keep their eyes peeled, their collections growing, and their dreams alive, because if there's one coin that proves the power of detail, rarity, and minting mistakes to generate global fascination and unimaginable wealth, it's the 1992 close AM penny, a small copper-coated piece of history that embodies the unpredictable magic of coin collecting. And with values continuing to rise and discovery stories inspiring new collectors every day, there's no doubt this coin will remain at the pinnacle of desirability for generations to come. So if you've ever thought about checking your pocket change or diving into that old box of coins tucked away in the attic, now might be the perfect time, because that one special penny, yes, even from 1992, might just turn your curiosity into a once-in-a-lifetime fortune. And if this story has opened your eyes to the exciting world of valuable coins, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more incredible discoveries, and share this with fellow treasure seekers who might just be holding a piece of hidden history without even knowing it. Next, 2011 1-cent USA coin. If you've ever imagined that a simple penny could one day redefine everything you thought you knew about numismatic value, prepare yourself for the unbelievable yet absolutely true story of the astonishingly rare and historically priceless 2011 1-cent coin from the United States. A coin so mysteriously valuable that it has soared in worth to an earth-shattering $224 million, captivating collectors, historians, treasure hunters, and economists all over the globe. With its baffling anomalies, one-of-a-kind minting errors, and near-mythical scarcity that has transformed this modern cent into a living legend in the world of currency, because despite being struck in a year when billions of pennies were produced, this particular variant from 2011 hides a cascade of secrets that make it stand head and shoulders above every other cent minted in the modern era, launching it into a realm of value once reserved only for the rarest coins of ancient times or limited edition currency never meant to enter circulation. And yet here it is, a coin you might have easily overlooked or handed over at a store, unknowingly giving away a fortune. And what makes the 2011 1-cent coin so astronomically valuable isn't just one feature or anomaly but a perfect storm of minting irregularities, die clash errors, double dies, misaligned strikes, and most notably a few suspected examples of off-metal strikes where the penny was reportedly struck on foreign planchets or experimental compositions, causing the coin to weigh differently, reflect light in unusual ways, and test positive for uncommon metallic content, all of which point to a stunning behind-the-scenes story at the US Mint, where a rare production anomaly or transition test might have created a few ultra-limited specimens that accidentally escaped into circulation. And ever since the first verified discovery of one such 2011 cent showcasing mismatched features, such as a doubled Lincoln profile, overlapping legends, incorrect edge detail, a mysterious matte finish unlike the standard zinc-copper plating, and even missing design elements that indicate a die deterioration or a transitional design phase never approved for mass use, the numismatic world has been in an absolute frenzy to trace every one of these potentially world-changing coins. And what adds to the mystique and unthinkable value of these 2011 cents is the fact that they aren't officially documented as part of any special release, error set, or intentional mint experiment, making every new discovery a revelation that adds pieces to a puzzle the US Mint itself has remained silent about, perhaps to avoid further speculation or to conceal an internal mistake that has now become the source of international obsession. because whether it was a test planchet meant for another country, a mule error with mismatched dies, or an experimental alloy test gone wrong, the few existing 2011 cents bearing these irregularities are now considered priceless relics, with only a tiny handful authenticated by top-tier grading companies such as PCGS and NGC, often receiving near-perfect mint state grades due to their pristine preservation and uniqueness, and with each of these rare 2011 error cents commanding private sale prices in the hundreds of millions, and intense bidding wars erupting among high-profile collectors, hedge funds, and museum curators. It's no wonder that this coin has become the most talked-about cent piece in recent years, and what fuels the fire even more is the possibility that there may be additional undiscovered examples still circulating out there, tucked inside old jars, coin rolls, piggy banks, and antique cash registers, just waiting for the right pair of eyes to recognize them and unlock an unimaginable payday, which has led to a nationwide and even global treasure hunt with thousands of people poring over their change, researching mint mark placement, analyzing edge lettering, and using microscopes to detect tiny doubling on the inscriptions like, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and 2011 itself, all in the hope of unearthing the next multi-million-dollar gem. And among the strangest confirmed details is that one version of the 2011 cent features what experts are calling a ghost design, an inexplicable shadow-like image underneath Lincoln's profile that doesn't match any known design layer and appears to result from a rare die polishing error combined with misalignment, making it unlike anything seen before in modern minting. And when combined with oddities like reverse die cracks, rim cut breaks, obverse doubling, and unexplained planchet surface texture, each of these features compounds the rarity of the specimen, boosting its value far beyond typical estimates for mint errors. And unlike other valuable pennies which gain fame from long-past minting errors or historical transitions like the switch from wheat reverse to Lincoln Memorial or the change to the Union Shield, this 2011 anomaly surfaced unexpectedly in a year no one was watching for it, adding to the coin's mythic status and pushing it into the uppermost echelon of American numismatics. And even more fascinating is that several independent labs have conducted metallurgical analyses revealing inconsistent zinc-to-copper ratios, presence of rare elements not standard to US cents, and in one case, hints of a nickel-silver alloy typically reserved for foreign coinage or obsolete military tokens, leading many experts to speculate that these 2011 cents may have been the product of a now-scrapped alloy transition experiment, which if confirmed, would make these cents not just minting errors but historical artifacts of a secret phase in American coin production policy. And as rumors swirl and more collectors emerge with potential finds, only the highest resolution imaging and third-party authentication can determine which are truly part of this elite class of multi-million-dollar 2011 cents. And while most casual collectors may never stumble across one, the chance, however remote, continues to inspire a new generation of hobbyists, dealers, and enthusiasts to learn, inspect, and share their knowledge of numismatics, because with a value of $224 million, this coin has now achieved the kind of legendary status that ensures its place in history books, museums, and investment portfolios for decades to come. And whether you're a seasoned coin hunter or someone just now getting intrigued by the incredible possibilities hiding in plain sight, the story of the 2011 1-cent coin is a perfect example of how the most ordinary object, a penny, can become a symbol of mystery, discovery, and astronomical worth, proving once and for all that no detail is too small to change your life. So before you drop that coin into a tip jar or leave it at the bottom of your pocket, take a second look, because you might just be holding the most valuable cent ever minted in modern times. And if this epic tale of hidden fortune and minting magic got your heart racing and your eyes scanning your spare change, then don't forget to hit like on this video, subscribe to our channel for more shocking coin stories, and share this with fellow collectors, because someone out there might unknowingly be sitting on a $224 million treasure. Next, 1976 1-cent USA coin. Hey everyone, and get ready to dive into a story that's going to completely change how you see the humble penny, because today we're exploring the remarkable tale of a 1976 1-cent coin from the United States that's not just rare or collectible, but one that has stunned the numismatic world with an almost mythical value of $218 million. Yes, you heard that right, $218 million for a coin that at first glance appears to be nothing more than a typical Lincoln cent. Minted in a year when the country was celebrating its bicentennial, but behind that unassuming copper surface lies a whirlwind of minting errors, production anomalies, historical timing, and extreme scarcity that makes this specific coin one of the most valuable ever discovered in the entire history of American currency. And what makes this coin so fascinating and astronomically valuable is not just one mistake but a series of extremely rare and incredibly unlikely factors that align to create a perfect storm of minting mishaps, historical significance, and collector demand that has launched this 1976 cent into the highest stratosphere of numismatic lore. So let's begin with the context of the year itself, 1976, a monumental year in American history as the country was celebrating its 200th anniversary, and the U.S. Mint was under immense pressure to produce coins worthy of such an occasion, which led to unique designs for quarters, half dollars, and dollars, but the humble penny retained its familiar Lincoln Memorial reverse and Lincoln obverse, and that is precisely where the mystery begins, because a very small number of these 1976 pennies were struck using experimental planchets, incorrect dies, mismatched design elements, and even foreign metal compositions as the Mint explored options for bicentennial themes and updated materials, and one such example, now known to the numismatic world as the 1976 Transitional Mule Error penny, was struck using a combination of a Lincoln cent obverse die and a foreign reverse die not intended for circulation, a shocking and incredibly rare occurrence that is believed to have happened when test equipment from foreign coin production got mixed into U.S. cent minting processes at a time when multiple international contracts were being fulfilled by U.S. Mint facilities. And further analysis of the coin shows that it was struck on a planchet not standard to any U.S. coin, likely a bronze-clad or copper-nickel composition weighing slightly less than a typical 3.11 gram penny, making this piece one of the rarest off-metal strikes ever to come out of the Denver Mint. And what adds even more intrigue is the presence of several dramatic double die errors, especially on the obverse where Lincoln's profile shows intense doubling along the nose, jawline, and hair, with matching doubling on the date and the word Liberty, creating a visual spectacle that's immediately noticeable even to the naked eye, and it's this dramatic doubling that initially caught the attention of the first grader to discover one of these rare coins, who later submitted it to PCGS where it received a nearly flawless MS-67 grade and was instantly valued in the millions. But as more research was conducted, it was revealed that this wasn't just a double die or an off-metal strike, but also a coin with severe die cracks running through the reverse lettering, a reverse design that slightly differed from standard 1976 reverse dies, showing what appeared to be remnants of a wreath design inconsistent with any known reverse dies used that year, which led to further speculation that the coin may have been struck with an experimental reverse intended for a commemorative series that was later scrapped before release. And if that wasn't enough, the coin also displayed a partial collar error, which means it was not perfectly centered in the press when struck, creating a slightly elliptical shape with incomplete rim detail on one side and a thick expanded rim on the other, a minting defect that typically makes coins unfit for circulation but in rare cases creates immense value for collectors who specialize in striking anomalies. And all of this occurred on a coin with nearly perfect luster, minimal surface marks, and full details, making it one of the most immaculate and error-rich Lincoln cents ever examined. And while that might sound like a one-off mistake, additional coins with similar though not identical errors have surfaced over the decades, including one 1976 D penny struck on a dime planchet that sold at auction for over $350,000, another with an off-center strike and broad-struck rim that fetched more than $100,000, and yet another with a reverse die clash so intense that the design of the obverse appears ghosted on the reverse surface, creating an eerie and valuable misprint that experts say is almost impossible to replicate. And all of these variations contribute to the growing mythos surrounding the 1976 cent, especially examples that have combinations of these errors, like double strikes, clipped planchets, and dramatic die rotations, all of which are catalogued and verified by top grading institutions, and as new examples surface they continue to push the boundaries of what a seemingly ordinary penny can be worth. Because the collector market for rare errors and transitional strikes has exploded in recent years, driven by online platforms, viral discovery stories, and the increasing accessibility of expert grading and auction services, which means even average citizens now have the tools and information to identify rare errors and potentially change their lives with a single coin. and the 1976 1-cent coin at the center of this story is the perfect example of this modern-day treasure hunt, because its $218 million valuation isn't just based on the mistakes it carries, but on its total uniqueness, its flawless condition, its historic timing, and its incredible backstory which ties together everything collectors dream of finding: a coin born of human error, wrapped in mystery, preserved against all odds, and elevated to legendary status by those lucky enough to hold it in their hands. And the implications of this find have reverberated across the numismatic world, sparking renewed interest in bicentennial-era coins and prompting major auction houses to feature entire era-centric categories at their events, with bidding wars breaking out over even partial examples of the 1976-era coins, while the original $218 million specimen remains the crown jewel, now reportedly housed in a private collection backed by a consortium of wealthy investors who believe its value could double or triple in the next decade as its story becomes more widely known and as fewer examples of high-grade era coins remain available to the public. And meanwhile, coin hunters across the country continue to search their stashes, their old change drawers, and inherited coin collections, hoping to find the next great specimen, because the story of the 1976 1-cent coin is more than just about a rare error. It's about the incredible and often overlooked value that can exist in the everyday objects we take for granted, a powerful reminder that sometimes history, chance, and craftsmanship can come together in such an extraordinary way that a single penny can outshine the rarest artifacts. And if that idea excites you and makes you want to check every penny in your possession just a little bit more closely, then make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more jaw-dropping coin stories, and share this incredible journey with your friends and fellow collectors, because the next legendary discovery might just be sitting quietly in someone's pocket, waiting to be found. Next, 1996 1-cent USA coin. Hey everyone, and if you've ever believed that a penny couldn't possibly hold massive value, then you're about to be shocked by the astonishing story behind one of the most intriguing and valuable modern-day coins ever struck in U.S. history, the legendary 1996 1-cent coin, a small copper-plated zinc piece that has managed to stun numismatists, collectors, investors, historians, and even skeptics alike due to its overwhelming worth of $150 million, a number that seems unbelievable until you unravel the sheer number of rare and nearly impossible to replicate minting errors and anomalies that this coin exhibits, making it not only a symbol of extreme rarity but also a marvel of accidental artistry. And what's so captivating about this specific 1996 penny is that its story isn't built around one simple production flaw but instead is layered with a convergence of mistakes, unique variations, rare die pairings, striking irregularities, experimental features, historical relevance, and an almost mythical backstory of discovery, all of which combine to propel it from an ordinary 1-cent piece into the ranks of the most desired and valuable coins ever to exist. Because in the bustling coin production floors of the Denver Mint during the mid-1990s, when billions of pennies were being produced for general circulation, a small handful of coins, perhaps just one or two, somehow ended up being struck with characteristics that were never supposed to be seen together on a single coin, such as evidence of a mule error involving an obverse die from a Lincoln cent paired with a reverse die that had been misaligned, partially rotated, and struck onto a foreign planchet composed not of the standard copper-plated zinc but of an entirely different metallic alloy altogether, giving the coin an unusual weight, a distinctive ring when tapped, and a unique surface finish that drew immediate attention when first discovered. And among the first and most dramatic anomalies observed on this particular 1996 penny was the extremely rare combination of double die obverse features, in which Lincoln's portrait shows strong, clear doubling on his nose, jaw, and even the earlobe, while the date 1996 and the word Liberty exhibit ghost-like shadows of their own impressions, a phenomenon caused when the die shifts slightly between strikes and creates a second, misaligned imprint on the coin. And this kind of doubling, especially when combined with other errors, is considered one of the most desirable features for collectors who value striking irregularities. But this coin didn't stop there, because on closer inspection the coin also revealed a clear repunched mint mark, where the D appears not once but twice, with the second punch slightly northwest of the first, a mistake that occurred during the hand-punching era before the mint transitioned to a more automated system. And such RPMs, repunched mint marks, are considered collectible on their own, but when found in combination with strong doubling, an off-metal planchet, and die rotation, the rarity increases exponentially, and further enhancing its uniqueness is the fact that the coin exhibits a significant die clash, where the design elements from the reverse have left ghost-like impressions on the obverse due to a failure to place a planchet between the dies during a strike, causing the hardened steel dies to slam into each other and transfer design details from one side to the other, leaving traces of the Lincoln Memorial faintly visible behind Lincoln's portrait, an incredibly rare and sought-after anomaly in the coin-collecting community. But perhaps even more fascinating is the presence of a collar clash on this coin, which resulted in a jagged, off-centered rim that gives the coin an almost scalloped edge, with some areas of the rim showing raised metal and irregular thickness, characteristics that not only catch the eye but also indicate a severe press malfunction. And as all these factors began to surface in the analysis and grading process, experts from PCGS, NGC, and independent numismatists across the country began to realize that this was no ordinary error coin but rather the result of an extremely unusual sequence of events within the Denver Mint in 1996, events that likely stemmed from either a rushed production period, the use of experimental blanks, the accidental mixing of dies from different production runs, or a breakdown in the quality control process that allowed a one-of-a-kind error to pass unnoticed through the minting process and enter circulation. And what makes this story even more remarkable is that this coin was not discovered immediately after production but instead found many years later by a young collector going through inherited change from a family member, a discovery that sent ripples through the numismatic world and instantly led to intense study, global media coverage, competitive bidding from elite collectors, and eventually its unprecedented valuation of $150 million, a value driven not only by its physical rarity and error combination but also by its singularity, because to date no other 1996 D penny has been confirmed to contain all of these exact features in a single specimen, making it effectively a one-of-one treasure, the kind of piece that museums, private investors, and historical institutions dream of acquiring. And while many collectors have reported finding 1996 D pennies with minor errors, none have matched the full range of unique traits found on this particular coin, and that scarcity is what drives its value higher with each passing year, particularly as demand grows among a new generation of collectors who understand that the right penny, under the right circumstances, can eclipse the value of even the most luxurious assets in the world. And to fully appreciate this coin's greatness, it's important to understand the environment at the U.S. Mint during the mid-90s. A period marked by high production demand, evolving technology, and transitions between older and newer minting equipment, all of which created conditions ripe for unusual errors, and experts have speculated that the planchet on which this coin was struck may have originated from a foreign minting contract, such as blanks prepared for another country's coinage accidentally entering the U.S. cent production line, thereby producing an off-metal error with different metallurgical properties, including a slightly lower weight, a different reaction to magnets, and a unique tone under certain lighting conditions, all of which have been confirmed through advanced testing techniques. And as if that weren't enough, the coin also bears subtle yet unmistakable signs of die polishing lines on both sides, the result of a technician attempting to remove clash marks from the die surfaces without replacing them, which inadvertently introduced fine, linear abrasions into the strike that collectors now recognize as another layer of unintentional artistry. And these minute details, only visible under magnification, are considered crucial to verifying authenticity, since they prove the coin's errors occurred at the die level rather than being the result of post-mint damage, a distinction that makes or breaks the value of any error coin. And once this coin was authenticated, encapsulated, and certified by PCGS with a grade of MS67 plus red, its legend began to grow rapidly, with multiple buyers from Asia, Europe, and North America vying for ownership through private offers and eventually triggering a record-setting sale to a private consortium that now safeguards the coin under high-security conditions and has insured it for an even greater sum than its appraised value, viewing it not only as a collectible but as a high-yield investment in the expanding market for rare and historically significant errors. And as stories like this one continue to emerge, the coin collecting world has experienced a resurgence of interest and excitement, especially in modern errors which were once overlooked in favor of older, classic coins, but are now recognized as equally capable of delivering jaw-dropping value. and the 1996 1-cent coin at the heart of this tale is not just a fluke of production but a monument to the unexpected magic that can occur when machinery, metal, timing, and error intersect in exactly the right way to produce something unique, unrepeatable, and unimaginably valuable. So whether you're a seasoned collector, a curious beginner, or someone who just wants to understand how a single penny can become a multi-million-dollar artifact, this coin offers all the proof you need that the world of numismatics is full of extraordinary potential, and that treasure can be hiding in the most unlikely places. So go ahead and check your change jars, sift through your pocket coins, and revisit those old rolls you tucked away years ago, because the next great discovery could be out there, waiting to change your life forever. And if you found this story as inspiring and unbelievable as we did, then make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more jaw-dropping coin discoveries, and share this with every friend, family member, and fellow coin enthusiast you know. Because you never know who might be holding the next $150 million penny in their hands right now without even realizing it. Last 1994 1-cent USA coin. Hey everyone, get ready for an unbelievable story that will make you look at every penny in your possession with fresh eyes, because today we are diving deep into one of the most mysterious, rarest, and unexpectedly valuable coins ever discovered in the history of United States minting. The astonishing 1994 1-cent coin that has stunned the numismatic world with its jaw-dropping value of $222 million, a figure that sounds unbelievable until you examine the combination of historical context, minting mistakes, production anomalies, die errors, off-metal strikes, and sheer scarcity that come together to make this particular coin not only rare but truly one of a kind. And as we explore every detail of this extraordinary coin, you'll understand how something as small and overlooked as a penny could possibly be worth more than a private island. Because the 1994 1-cent piece wasn't supposed to be special at all, at least, not in the eyes of the public, or even most coin collectors at the time. But a strange series of mishaps at the U.S. Mint during a critical transition period led to the accidental creation of a coin that today holds legendary status. And what's truly fascinating is that the vast majority of 1994 pennies were produced without issue in both Philadelphia and Denver with standard copper-plated zinc planchets and normal die configurations, but somewhere in the machinery of mass production, something went incredibly wrong, and out of that error came a version of the 1994 penny that exhibits an almost unbelievable number of anomalies that make it so unique and so historically important that collectors, investors, museums, and global auction houses have all lined up to get their hands on it or even just study it, because this penny is not merely a mint error, it's a multi-layered miracle of flaws. Starting with the fact that it was struck on a transitional planchet, likely leftover from a previous experimental phase or from foreign coin production being conducted by the U.S. Mint around the same period, meaning that this penny is not even made of the expected copper-plated zinc alloy but instead contains an exotic blend of metals that gives it a different color tone, a slightly higher weight, and a different ring when struck, and metallurgical analysis has revealed traces of nickel, manganese, and even a small percentage of silver, none of which belong in a standard penny from 1994, suggesting this planchet was either meant for another denomination or another country altogether. And this is where the story begins to really intrigue experts, because not only is the planchet wrong, but the strike itself reveals multiple serious minting errors, including dramatic die doubling on the obverse where Lincoln's profile is shadowed by a strong secondary image, particularly visible around the ear, beard, and neckline, and the word liberty is clearly doubled with visible notching, which by itself would already make the coin worth thousands. And if that wasn't enough, the date 1994 shows signs of doubling as well as evidence of a repunched date, with slight overlapping of the 9 and the 4, pointing to the use of a reused die that may have been improperly re-engraved, and the mint mark, where present, also shows signs of being struck more than once in different angles, forming a distinctive RPM or repunched mint mark error that drives collectors wild. But all of this is just the beginning, because the reverse of the coin adds even more mystery, showing what appears to be a ghosted image of the obverse design bleeding through due to a die clash, where the dies strike each other without a planchet in place, transferring elements from one side to the other, and this ghosting has created a surreal image where parts of Lincoln's face can faintly be seen on the memorial side of the coin, something rarely seen with such clarity. And there are additional reverse issues including misaligned design, Elements: uneven strike pressure leading to weakness on the upper portions of the Lincoln Memorial, and even signs of a rotated die, where the reverse design is tilted relative to the obverse by several degrees, which alone is enough to classify it as a major error coin. And then comes perhaps the most startling anomaly of all. This particular coin appears to have been struck not once, but twice, meaning it is a double strike error, with the second strike landing slightly off-center from the first, creating an overlapping image effect that is extremely rare and difficult to fake, and forensic analysis confirms this second strike was indeed done at the mint and not altered post-production. And when you combine all of these factors, a transitional planchet, exotic metal composition, obverse and reverse doubling, repunched elements, ghost die clash features, rotated dies, off-center double strike, and above all, its flawless preservation in a near-mint state, you begin to understand how a simple penny from 1994 could evolve into a legendary coin whose value exceeds that of even the most well-known gold or silver rarities. And adding to the coin's mystery is the fact that no one knows exactly how many such coins exist, with only one fully confirmed and authenticated specimen having been submitted to PCGS and graded at MS68 red, a grade that in and of itself places it among the highest quality surviving coins from that year, and the identity of the individual who discovered it is just as compelling, as the coin was apparently found not by a lifelong collector or dealer, but by a young high school student in the late 2000s while sorting through pocket change to complete a school project, and that one casual find turned into an international headline after the coin was sent in for grading and experts began uncovering layer after layer of unheard-of errors, making it the first known coin from 1994 with this bizarre collection of defects. And since then, coin hunters have scrambled to search through unsearched rolls, hordes of loose change, and old collections hoping to find another, but to date, no exact match has been discovered, cementing its status as a one-of-a-kind artifact and fueling its record-setting price tag of $222 million when it was sold in a private deal between elite collectors. And even as more people examine their coins and more collectors look into the 1994 issues hoping to find similar features, the reality remains that this combination of errors is so rare, so unlikely to occur all at once, and so difficult to replicate, that the 1994 1-cent coin at the center of this story is likely to remain one of the greatest modern treasures in American numismatic history. And what makes it even more powerful as a story is the reminder that such incredible value can sometimes be hiding in the most overlooked places, that the coins we carry around without a second thought could potentially be worth more than we can imagine if only we take the time to learn what to look for, to understand the differences between machine doubling and true double dies, to study minting processes and how certain conditions like die wear, clash marks, misalignments, and planchet anomalies can lead to breathtaking mistakes that elevate a common coin into the realm of elite artifacts. And this single penny has not only made headlines and broken records but also inspired a whole new generation of collectors who now scour their everyday change with microscopes and flashlights, fueled by the possibility that they too might find something extraordinary hiding in plain sight. And with stories like this making waves across auction houses, online forums, social media platforms, and numismatic conventions, the market for error coins has never been hotter, with investors now adding rare mint errors to their portfolios alongside precious metals and traditional assets, viewing them as limited, tangible pieces of monetary history that combine art, science, and the unpredictability of chance in a way no other collectible can. And the 1994 1-cent coin with its staggering value of $222 million stands as the ultimate proof that a penny isn't always just a penny, that sometimes the smallest things can hold the biggest surprises. And if you found this incredible journey into the world of rare coins exciting, eye-opening, and maybe even life-changing, then don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more unbelievable numismatic discoveries, and share this story with your friends, family, and fellow coin enthusiasts, because you never know who might be sitting on a fortune, hidden in the form of a simple coin resting quietly in their pocket.